Chinaza Favour, also known as the Healer, is a writer, songstress, and a purposeful young woman who has defied odds and has continued to do same in the pursuit of purpose. She is a wholesome living expert whose major aim is to see people live wholesome lives and heal of every negative baggage holding them back from becoming the best version of themselves. She is the author of Who Are You Really?, a book focused on helping people discover and rediscover their true identity through the help of the Holy Spirit. She will be speaking on Limitless, overcoming limiting beliefs to tap into the limitless power of the mind.
Hello everyone, good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please go in the chat. I can hear you. I can hear you. Because tonight is going to be a very wonderful night, one that you will not forget in a hurry. So if you can hear me, please comment, all right? I want to see your yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Comment, I'm checking the comments now. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, all right. Jumai says, I can hear you. Philip says, I can hear you. All right, cool. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Juliet, for having me. Thank you all for joining tonight's session. I'm so happy to be here. It's an honor to be here. So without wasting much of our time, I think we've wasted enough time already trying to fix the audio and the video. I would like to jump right into why we are here. You've already listened to my bio. There is no need for further introduction. All right. So tonight we're talking about overcoming limiting beliefs to tap into the limitless power of the mind. Again, overcoming limiting beliefs to tap into the limitless power of the mind. Who is ready for tonight? Who is ready? Type, I am ready. I am ready. Type in the chat, I am ready. If you're ready for what is about to meet you tonight, type, I am ready, because I am so ready. I am so ready to give you what I have to give you. The question is, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, Juliet says, I'm ready. What are limiting beliefs? A young boy called Ryan, he was a sprinter. I say was for a purpose. He was a sprinter. You know, sprinters are those who run. And he was from a home or from a family where there are no sprinters. His family does not run. Not even his grandfather, not even his ancestors were runners. So, but in his school, he was a very good runner. He could run. He always took the first position. He was very good. And he would be called to represent his schools in competitions, inter-house competitions, inter-school competitions. So one of his major competitions, he called his mom and said, Mom, I'm running. I'm one of those chosen to represent our state in an interstate competition, and I'll be running the 100 meters race. He was always the best, always taking the first position. So his mom was like, you running? You must be a joker. He told his mom, I'm running. So he invited his mom to the competition. It was supposed to be in batches, right? You run the 100 meters, then you would run the 200 meters, 400 meters, 400 meters. He was always coming first in his school and other competitions he had had before that time. So it happened that after the first session, after the first competition where he ran the 100 meters, can you hear me? I don't know why I keep getting disconnected. So when he won the 100 meters race, his mom ran to where he was. Wow, I didn't know you could run. Nobody in our family has ever been sprinters. Wow, in our family, we are not sprinters. In our lineage, nobody was ever a sprinter. You're not your dad, not your grandfather, not your great-grandfather. Nobody in our lineage was ever a sprinter. So it is very unlikely that you could run. I'm surprised. His mom did not understand the power of what she just told him. And Ryan, being a young boy, he was 11 years at the time, Being a young boy, he immediately soaked in what his mother told him. Do you know what happened? Within a split second, Ryan immediately internalized what his mom told him. He believed it immediately. When it was time for the 400 meters race, he didn't realize what had happened in his mind. When it was time for the 400 meters race, Ryan didn't even come fifth. Ryan came sixth. Sixth. In a race where he could have easily taken the first position, he came sixth. What happened? What changed? The last go, Ryan took first in a 100 meters race. Now, 400 meters, he couldn't even come in the first five. He took the sixth position. What happened was that he believed what his mom told him. It was different that his mom told Can you still hear me? Can you still see me? Can you still hear me? I got disconnected a little bit over there. Can you still hear me? And can you still see me? Please comment, let me know that I am not alone here. Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. So Ryan, because of what his mom told him, he was not able to reach his goal of getting a first position in that race. Why did I tell that story? Because his mom told him something and it became a limiting belief to him. And that is what we are discussing today. The power of limiting beliefs, how it can affect you, and how to overcome them. So, what are limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs, like I explained it here, they are the obstacles you allow in your mind that prevents you from reaching your destiny or from actualizing your goals. They are those beliefs, those convictions you have that prevent you from actualizing your goals and fulfilling your dreams and your desires. Again, limiting beliefs are obstacles that you allow in your mind that prevents you from reaching your goals and actualizing your dreams. Notice the use of words there. Allow. Allow. Nothing can have a place in your mind if you don't allow it. If you want to go anywhere, you have to believe that you can get there. So whatever you want to be, whatever you want to become, whoever you want to be, is possible. But the question is, do you believe that you can get there? Do you believe that it is possible for you to get there? Or have you already cancelled it in your mind that it is not for you? That is what we are here to discuss. Limiting beliefs. Ben Carson says, you know Ben Carson, the retired neurosurgeon, the one that separated CMS twins some time ago. He's a black man, and he said, if you have an average brain, you are capable of anything because of the complexities of the human brain. With something so complex, it is heartbreaking to hear people say, I can't. With the power that your brain has, with the power that you have in your brain to process information as quickly as possible, to store information as quickly as possible, for as long as possible, it is inconceivable that anyone would say, I can't. I can't. Those words should not be existing in your dictionary. They should not even exist in your world at all. I can't. So think of your mind. I want you to think of your mind as a supercomputer. That is the way it helps me to work. Think of your mind as a supercomputer. All right? You know what a computer is, but this time it is not just a computer. It is a supercomputer. All right? And you know computers, they work on programming, right? So think of your mind first as a supercomputer, and then the programming of your mind is the thoughts allow in your mind, the things that you have believed in your mind. So can everyone hear me? Sincere apologies for that. I don't know what is wrong. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, sincere apologies for that. All right, so I was talking about supercomputer as your mind. So think of your mind as a supercomputer, and then the programming of your mind are the thoughts of your mind, the thoughts that you allow in your mind. All right. So if your computer, if your supercomputer is going to work well, it's going to function well, you have to impute the right programming. If you impute the wrong programming, your computer will be malfunctioning. It will malfunction. But if you put in the right programming, it is going to function well. It's going to function seamlessly. It is going to function the way you want it to function. But unfortunately, a lot of us have these wonderful supercomputers that are in our minds, that we call our minds, but then we are not functioning well. Why? Because we have the wrong programming. It is running on the wrong programming. You're allowing the wrong thought processes in your mind, and that is why you're not getting the results that you want. That is why you're not living the life that you want to live. That is why you are not able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. So limiting beliefs are those thoughts that you allow in your mind that seem to be true, right? They seem to be true. They are conviction. They are things that you actually believe to be true about yourself. But are they true in themselves? Are they really true? We'll get to that, where you'll be able to identify and analyze your limiting beliefs and be sure whether they are true or not. Let's keep going. So I want to ask you a few. Is this the most that you can be? Is this the most that you can do? Your level of performance, is that the best that you can be? Is that the best that you can do? I doubt if it is. All those fears that you have in your mind, all those insecurities that you have in your mind, they are just fears. They are illusions. They are not really true in themselves. So what makes you think that all the dreams that you have, all the plans and all the thoughts that you have in your mind, that it cannot be actualized? What makes you think that your imaginations are too wide to be actualized? What makes you think that your dreams are too big to be actualized? What makes you think that? What makes you think that? Limiting beliefs, what you believe about yourself. And the truth is, if you think that you can actualize your dreams, you will. And you are right. If you think that you cannot actualize your dreams, you are right also, and you won't. I got to know about the power of the mind. I'd always known about it, but just recently something happened and I got to understand it on a deeper level, what the mind can do, what the things we believe in our minds can do to our mindset and to So I used to think for some time that my experiences have fashioned me into somebody I don't want to be. So I believed in that person. I believed in that person I was able to come up with in my imagination that I was, whom I wasn't actually. I was thinking I was a terrible person. I was thinking, no, because I thought I was a terrible person, I was making terrible decisions. The thoughts I had in my mind were confirming my decisions and my actions were confirming the thoughts I had in my mind. How do I mean? Because I already thought I was a terrible person, when something comes up that could make me to do something terrible, I'm like, yeah, I'm already a terrible person now. Let me go ahead and do it. And once I'm done doing it, I'll confirm it to myself. Yes, I said it. I'm a terrible person. It played out in different scenarios for me to know that this is not just a coincidence. It was what I believed in my mind, and it was a friend who pointed it out to me. I said, Chinaza, you believe you're making these terrible decisions because of what you believe about yourself. And I was teaching others to believe things that are better, to have better beliefs about themselves. But I was in that cage, I was in that box. So this goes to say that you could have limiting beliefs and you're not even aware of them. And that is the most dangerous phase. That's the most dangerous part of limiting beliefs. There are some of them that are very clear to be seen, very open. And there are some of them that are just engraved deep in your mind, that you just act subconsciously on them without realizing that they are there. So your insecurities could also be your limiting beliefs, could also be your insecurities, because you don't think that something, you think that something is wrong with you somehow, or you're not okay with the size of your head, or you're not okay with the color of your skin. It stops you from making some moves where you think that physical appeal could play a part in you being accepted. So, what are examples of these limiting beliefs? Words that start with I can't do this. Now, that is even a fixed mindset. I can't do this. I am not beautiful. I am not smart enough. I am not good enough. Words that start with I can't, words that start with I am not, they are usually words that limit us. They are usually words that come from limiting beliefs, and you have to be conscious of them. I will never be good. I will never be able to ride a horse. I will never be able to swim. You want to swim, but you already tell yourself, I'm not a good swimmer. I cannot swim. You have already limited yourself. And if you try to swim, you're gonna drown. Why? Because you already believe that you cannot swim. You already believe that you are going to drown. You already believe that this is not for me. All right. So, whatever you believe in your mind, whatever you think about yourself, is what you're going to be living out. It is that simple. So, if you want to live a limitless life, you have to work on your mind. You have to work on your mindset. You have to work on the beliefs that you have and the things that you tell yourself, because that is where it starts. If an egg is broken by an external force, life ends. But if an egg is broken by an internal force, life begins. So what does it tell you? That the things that makes you you are the things that come from within you. If you must live a life that you're proud of, if you must live a limitless life, if you must live a life that you look back on and you have no regrets, it has to start from your mind. It has to start with your thought processes. It has to start with the data you have already allowed in your mind. It has to start with the programming of your supercomputer. So, what do you believe about yourself? What are the limiting beliefs that you have that are stopping you from living a life that you're proud of, that are stopping you from living your best life? What are those beliefs that you have? What are they? So, what are the things that cause limited beliefs? What causes limiting beliefs? How do they form? Experts, scientists, researchers have come to the conclusion that can you hear me? My God, I just don't understand this network. So let's continue. What causes limiting beliefs? One is your experiences, all right? Your experiences. The things, can you hear me now? Someone say it's hanging. Can you hear me? Is it better now? Okay, okay. So your experiences play the most role in shaping your mindset. It plays the most role in forming you into whoever you will be. And how does it shape you? By the things that you pick up along the way. Maybe as a child, you were told that you're not good enough. You were told that you are not, uh, you will never make it in life. You were told several horrible things and you believed them, because the problem is not with what people tell you. The problem is what they tell you that you believe. Anyone can say anything, anyone can spit trash, but if you don't take them seriously, they will not affect you. They will only affect you the moment you take them seriously, the moment you believe them, the moment you believe them. So your experiences play a very large role in your mindset, in how you think, in your thought processes. So as a child, you may have gone through terrible things. You may have had horrible experiences. If you're like me, I had several terrible experiences that I cannot start mentioning right now. And they made me to have that belief that I had, that I was a terrible person. But now I know better. Your limiting beliefs might have been formed by the people who you met in school, by your teacher in school who told you that you're not smart, who told you that you will not amount to anything. Maybe your friends in school who bullied you and made you insecure so much that you cannot even show us your real self. Your limiting beliefs could come from your church members. It could come from anywhere. It could come from experiences you've had over the years. And they formed you to this person that you are right now, having this belief that you have right now, having these thought processes that you are right now, that are stopping you from getting to where you want to get to. Your limiting beliefs also can be fashioned by fear. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of failure? Before, and you don't want to have that experience again. So sometimes our limiting beliefs, we think that our limiting beliefs protect us in a way, but are they really protecting them? Are they really protecting you? You're afraid of trying again because you don't want to experience the pain of failure again. And so you are in that safe space. You are in that cocoon, thinking that you are doing yourself a favor by not trying again. However, it is your limiting beliefs that are making you not to make those moves. Because who knows, maybe if you try again, you're going to succeed. Maybe if you try again, you could succeed. But you are being limited by your fear of failure. You're being limited by your fear of what people would say about you. What causes your limitations, your unlimited beliefs? Why do you feel the way you feel? Why are you thinking those things you're thinking in your mind? It could come from imposter syndrome. I have that, not even I had. I have imposter syndrome where I don't think I deserve enough credit for something I have done. So I'm working towards that. I'm not teaching here because I am perfect or that I have everything all figured out. No, I'm on a journey. I just love carrying every other person on my journey and sharing my lessons as I go. Imposter syndrome, it is where you think that you don't deserve enough credit. You don't give yourself enough credit that you deserve. My mentor told me, Chinaza, you are not giving yourself enough credit. I don't think you see yourself the way we see you. You don't see yourself the way your followers see you. You are too low. You are too humble for who you are. And he wasn't telling me to be proud. He was just telling me to see myself in a better way, to see myself the way I'm worthy. But if I could do something good, but I will not take credit for that. In fact, if you told me to write my bio or to write anything that hypes me, I feel woefully at that. Someone told me, Chinaza, all right, you're going to talk about your book. Who are you really? And I told him I don't know how to write that. If I'm to write a copy for someone else, if I'm to write a copy or just to talk about someone else's product, I write it with all my heart. I do so well writing that. But when it comes to me writing about myself, I fail. I'm not even able to talk about the beauty of my work. Why? Because I have that limiting belief, that imposter syndrome that I'm trying to get rid of. It's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. But I have been able to identify it. So your limiting beliefs could be anything. It could come from different ways. It could come from different angles. It could be formed and fashioned by different things. And when you know it, when you know what your limiting belief is, then you can commit to managing them and overcoming them. Knowing the cause helps you understand the thought processes behind them and how to manage them. So, how do you overcome limiting beliefs? How do you overcome those thoughts in your head that tell you that you're not good enough? How do you overcome those thoughts in your head that tell you, no, I will not be taken for that job because I'm not qualified? How do you overcome them? The first thing, the very first step is self-awareness. You have to be okay, we are back. Praise God. The first step towards overcoming your limiting beliefs is self-awareness. Identify your limiting beliefs, because if you cannot identify it, you will never be able to overcome them. Whatever enemy you have that you do not know, you will not be able to overcome. Whatever battle you are in, and you don't know you're in a battle, you will never win that battle. So the very first step is identify your limiting beliefs. Identify your limiting beliefs. What are those things? What are those things? The best way to identify it is to think of your dreams, think of your goals. Once you have those goals right in front of you, just listen, just pay attention. You're going to hear those voices start coming up. Are you sure you can do this? Are you So once you write out your goal and you can see it, just pay attention. You're gonna hear those voices Are you sure you can do this? But you're not smart enough to pursue this goal. How can you say you want to be a musician? You're not even a singer. You don't even know anything about music. You hear those limiting beliefs. You hear them. They'll start creeping in one by one. Just use that as a bait to catch your limiting beliefs and write them down. Because your limiting beliefs come in the face of a potential success, right? They come when you are thinking of making moves or thinking forward. So they come to draw you back. It is your job to identify them and write them down, because if you write them down, you're able to see them. Not in your thoughts now. You're able to see them. If you can put a name on your limiting beliefs, you can name them. So identify them and write them down. That is the first step. Number two, in that first step, how true are these beliefs? Ask yourself, how true are these beliefs? Okay, so this one says, I am not smart enough to pursue this goal. How true is it? How true is it? Is it true that I'm not smart? But I passed my examination the other time now. I'm smart. Test the validity of your limiting beliefs. Test the validity of your limiting beliefs. So once you have them written down, test their validity. Test their accuracy. How true are they? Chances are most of the time they are not true. Most of the time they are not true. So write them down, validate, test their validity. And the third one, what evidences back up these beliefs? That is how you test the validity actually. What are the evidences that back up these beliefs? If you cannot find any substantial evidence that backs up your limiting beliefs, chances are it is invalid, and so that one is gone. You know that, okay, I have this one in my group, so I can deal with it. The fourth one is, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? So if you say, no, I'm not smart enough, where is this coming from? Did I at any point fail in anything? Did my boss tell me something that makes me think I'm not smart? Where is it coming from? Where is your limiting belief coming from? Think back and identify the source of that limiting belief so that you can know how best to manage it. All right? Do this for each and every one of your limiting beliefs, those ones you've written down. So the first step, like I said, is identify your limiting beliefs. Test the validity, right? Test the validity and know where they are coming from. That is the first step. So the first step has 3 sub-steps, right? The second step is to know whose you are. Say, I know whose I am. If you do, say, I know whose I am. But by whose, I mean WHOSE. I know whose I am. I know whose I am. Write it. Let me see your chat. I know whose I am. Whose are you? I want to believe that every one of us on this call, on this summit, are believers, right? You believe in God. Maybe you're not a Christian, but you're a Muslim or whatever religion you practice. You believe in God. That God made you, right? How did He make you? He made you in His image. He made you in His image, which means that you have the nature of God, right? You have the nature of God. Now, God is limitless. God is boundless. God is not limited by time. He's not limited by space. And when He made man, He said, let us make man in our own image. And when He made man, He put His nature in man. That is why it is not just oxygen that sustains us. It is the breath of God in us that makes us living things. It is the breath of God in us that makes us what? Living things. Human beings, living human beings. It's not just the oxygen that you're breathing that makes you breathe, that makes you live. No. No, yes, I know whose I am. So he breathed his breath in you, is his nature in you. So if God is limitless, if God is boundless, if God has no fear, why are you afraid? What makes you think that you are limited? That you are limited? Why do you think that you are limited? Because when you think in a limited way, you are reducing God. You are making him a liar because you're telling him, no, God, you didn't do well. You're calling God a liar because you'll be telling him, you said you created me in your image, but I'm not in your image, and God is not a liar. So when you understand the fact that the Spirit of God in you enables you to reach boundaries, to break boundaries, to expand horizons, then you will understand very well that you cannot entertain any limiting belief. Your mind is a lie. All right, we're back. Thank goodness. Your mind is elastic because God is infinite in nature. And you think that there's a limit to how far you can go. There's a limit to how much you can stretch. But the nature of God in you makes you limitless. The nature of God in you says, I can. This is possible. The nature of God in you does not say, I cannot. This is not possible. When you understand the nature of God, then you can understand your nature. Then you can understand that all things are possible to you because you believe it. Because you believe it. So understand whose you are. You are a masterpiece. In my book, Who Are You Really? I wrote, you are a masterpiece. You are God's masterpiece. His perfect work of art. The best thing he created. You are his best masterpiece. So why are you limiting yourself? Why do you think that you cannot achieve those dreams? You cannot achieve those goals that you've written out? Why are you allowing limiting beliefs to stop you, to get in the way of you getting to where you want to get to? The third thing is upgrade your mindset. Upgrade your mindset. If you want your computer to start working better, what do? You upgrade, right? If the programming of your computer isn't good, what do? You upgrade. You change to a new programming. You change to a new programming. And how do you change your new programming? What do I mean by that? You change your thought patterns. So number 3 is upgrade your mindset. Change your thought patterns. The first point in number 3 is upgrade, change your thought patterns. Change your thought patterns. Change your thought patterns. What do I mean by that? You cannot move ahead You cannot reach for anything new if your hands are still filled with yesterday's junks, because your limiting beliefs are from yesterday's experiences. But you have to upgrade your thought pattern to accommodate where you are going, to accommodate the possibility of where you are going. It's just like having a vision board, right? and you have all these beautiful things that you want to achieve, but you're not able to get there, you're not able to even start because your programming is still wrong, it's still erroneous. So what do? You upgrade. You don't reduce your goal to accommodate your erroneous belief about yourself. No, you upgrade your mindset so that you can get to where you want to get to. Another way to do this is by positive affirmations. I'm a huge fan of affirmations. I've seen what it can do. I have seen the power of positive affirmations. It does wonders. Positive affirmations. So when your mind tells you, I cannot do this, you switch immediately to, I am. So there are two ways to counter this belief. One, by telling yourself, I am capable. And number two, by adding the word yet. Yet. So let's say you want to start something new, right? And your mind is telling you, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, you don't have what it takes. You don't have what it takes. Don't even think about it. Instead of saying, yes, I cannot do this, you could say, I am capable of doing this. Or you could say, I am not capable of doing this yet. What does the addition of yet do to you? What does it do to your mind? It opens your mind to possibilities. Okay, it's not like I cannot do it at all. It's not like I don't have the ability at all. It's just that I don't have it yet. I don't have the ability to do it yet. Now, look at what it will make you do. It will make you to start thinking of how to get there, how to be capable of that. So that is where I said sometimes your limiting beliefs could be true. Not all of them are invalid. Some of them are valid, but how do you make them invalid? How do you commit? What do you need to do in order to deserve what you say that you did not deserve? That is true. So if you are, let's say, like the example that I used, you want to do something new and you know you don't have the capacity to do it, right? Your mind is already shut. You cannot do this, Chinaza. You just cannot do this. So I have two options. Yes, I cannot do this. I have three options actually. Yes, I cannot do this. The second option, yes, I cannot do this yet. And number three, I can do this. So the number two and number three opens your mind to possibilities. What do I need to start doing in order to be able to achieve this dream? In order to be able to get the skill sets that are needed to achieve the dreams? That will invalidate that limiting belief. That will invalidate that limiting belief. So instead of calling yourself something, change your perspective. Instead of calling yourself something, let's say you failed at something. A lot of us do this. We make this mistake all the time. You call yourself a failure because you failed an examination, because you failed at a business, because you failed. Maybe the summit failed. Maybe the summit you planned failed. Instead of calling yourself a failure or labeling yourself after that failure, why don't you just say, I failed at that? Instead of calling yourself a failure, I'm a failure, I am so stupid. You could say, I make stupid decisions. I make stupid choices. Chinaza, you are such a procrastinator. You could say, I have a habit of procrastination. What does this do? It makes you to reduce that identity, to shrink that identity, that level that you have of yourself. And so it gives you the power to change it. It gives you the power to overcome that limiting belief. So you are not a failure. You failed I am not stupid. I make stupid decisions. I am not a terrible person. I make terrible decisions. I am not a procrastinator. I have a habit of procrastination. Do you see the difference it makes? Because our choice of words matter so much. Our brains don't know left from right. Our subconscious minds do not know what is true and what is not true. So what we say with our words and the thoughts that we allow in our minds program our minds, tell our minds what to believe. So you have to make that shift in perspective. You have to make that shift in your mind that you are not this. You just have a habit of this. You are not this. You just failed at this. So that you can actually live in the now, in the consciousness of what you can be, instead of allowing those beliefs to make you to not do things that you're supposed to do, or to hinder you from making progress or achieving success. The fourth one that I have here is meditation. The power of meditation cannot be overemphasized. All right, take time out to spend time with yourself. All right, spend time with yourself. Be self-aware. Think of where you are going. Envision where you are going. Be present in yourself, with yourself. Be aware of your space. Meditate, maybe early in the morning or before you go to bed, or maybe any time in the day, during the day that is okay with you. You meditate. It makes you conscious of the thoughts that you have. It makes you aware of where you are in your progress, in your process, and it makes you to have the power to make those decisions. All right, so these limiting beliefs, they are nothing but beliefs. They are nothing but beliefs. And even if they are true, even if some of them are true, you can actually start to make changes. But the first thing is to identify them and validate them, true or false. And then you can commit to making better decisions. Positive affirmations also, they are lifesavers. So try to use words to counter words. When negative thoughts come, counter them with positive thoughts. And practice, practice, practice. This change will not occur overnight. It will not happen just immediately. All right? I don't expect it to happen immediately. I am undergoing a journey. I am on a journey, right? But I am here telling you about it. I'm here telling you what I've learned in my journey. So it is a journey, and it doesn't have to be automatic, but you have to commit to the process so that you can live the life that you are proud of. So you can live the life that when it is time, when you are old and stricken in age, you will not have regrets. I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that. I wish I didn't care so much what people say. So that when you die, your best self will be the person that you are. Your best self will not stand on your grave and wish you had done better, wish you had listened to your inner self and lived the life that God has called you. So this is where I draw the curtain. I want you to say with me, I am boundless. Type it in the chats. I am boundless. I want to see you type it. I am boundless. I am boundless. I am limitless, and I am capable. I am boundless. I am limitless, and I am capable. I want to see it in the chats. And I am capable. Yes, keep it coming. I am boundless. I am limitless, and I am capable. Yes, yes, yes. I am boundless. I'm limited. I'm limitless, and I am capable. So thank you very much, Juliet, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I think I'm done.